Commonly, weebs are asked the question, what is your favorite anime? It's a question that proceeds throughout time and evokes a different answer no matter who you ask. Two people may say the same anime, but will not have the same reasons as to why they love it. As for me, I wanted to organize my own thoughts, make a video on my favorite anime of all time, that being Death Note. Death Note is a series that's fully devoted to the characters it presents and the ideas that it lays down. It explores the different sides of human nature and how these sides are brought about by choice, and mangaka Obata does a phenomenal job portraying these different sides while still viewing them from an unbiased lens. Death Note started off as a one-shot pilot made by author Oba Sugumi and mangaka Obata Takeshi. The Taro Kagami story would become so popular that fans would want more, eventually serializing into the fantastic 13-volume manga we've come to know, if you're including the Death Note How to Read. As well as that, there's a recently released Death Note short stories. It's a one-shot epilogue taking place after the events of the main manga. Obata Sensei's later work, Bakuman, is said to be based off of this great partnership. So in saying this, it would be a great disservice if I didn't sing the praises of Oba Sensei, who did a fantastic job coming up with the idea of Death Note and stringing together such an intricate cat and mouse game. He also played a large part in helping convey the emotion in every panel to Obata Sensei, so that way he would be illustrating the right emotions, thus allowing Obata Sensei's artistic talent to capture human nature and emotion to shine. So what really is Death Note about? Well, as with all great manga, it boils down to one simple idea. In Death Note's case, it was the idea that a Shinigami came to Earth and gave a random Japanese kid a Death Note. This idea would apply to both the pilot and the main Death Note manga, although the setup for each is a little different. For Light, he was an accomplished high school student with the highest scores in his life laid out for him. Although, because everything was figured out for him, he was bored, hence the name of Chapter 1, Boredom. The things Light finds interesting are those that he doesn't understand, so one day, when noticing a notebook fall from the sky, his attention is piqued. Upon picking it up, he learns it has the power to kill someone by writing their name inside and imagining their face. I've heard it, you've heard it, we've all heard it before. Hell, your grandma has probably heard of a Death Note, so I won't stay on it for long. For now, as Light is still experimenting with the Death Note, he finds it fun, and will embark on his righteous mission to clean up the world one criminal at a time. However, this infatuation wouldn't last long. At this point in the story, Light is comfortable with what he's doing. He has people recognizing and worshipping him for his deeds. Everything is going to plan. So, naturally, things must be shaken up by introducing a new challenge. This challenge comes in the form of L.
それでは始めます。私は全世界の警察を動かせる唯一の人間。リンドエル・テイラー。通称 L です。なんだこいつ。
L's first encounter with Light serves as a very important moral choice for Light, and is what sends the series down such a different path. L is a new obstacle, something that is unknown to Light, so of course he becomes interested with him. Light, when faced with a new fun challenge, goes above his moral mission and chooses to take out L, claiming this could have been fun if you'd been a little smarter. But that wasn't L. It was just a stand-in. This being revealed to Light sends him into a panic. This is his first time failing at something. He fell for L's trap. L condemns Kira's actions for being unjust, and reveals he is zoned in on Kira's general location, being the Kanto region of Japan. At this point, L is living up to his rep, and has already proven himself to be a perfect rival for Light. And so, at this moment, Light reconfirms his decision, and him and L both declare they will find, catch, and eliminate the other. No righteous mission could be anywhere near as fun as this ultimate game that's presenting itself to Light. This whole interaction is our first instance of showing a character's nature through choice, and as the anime and manga have said, Light is childish and hates to lose. Hey, I don't normally do this, and frankly hate when YouTubers ask this, but if you're having fun, you're enjoying this video more than you expected, then definitely subscribe or like. I currently make gaming content, but that's not the main thing I'd like to do, and so I'm just seeing if I have an audience for anime content. As always, your support means the world, so thank you so much, and let's get on with it. Now, I want to take a second to focus on L in this interaction because we're actually told a lot about his character here through his actions. We're shown that he may be evil, or rather, his means of obtaining justice exceed that of the normal detective. This is a sign of the melancholic circumstances of the minds of Whammy's house, as they were borderline tortured from young ages just to satisfy Watare's need to create the greatest detective. In this instance of nature versus nurture, L's nurture ended up defining him and consuming his entire life. But why do I say it shows he may not be the saint we view him as? Well, he did allow Kira to kill an inmate just to obtain information on Kira's whereabouts and means of killing. Isn't that type of thinking on the same level as Kira's? If you want the answer to that, I'll once again recommend Set the Programmer. He made a video talking about whether or not L is evil, but that's not what I want to focus on. Rather, I'd like to highlight the underlying themes here. See, it comes down to the central theme of Death Note that most of its characters operate on. Light, L, even Ryuk. What is the single thing they have in common? They do things that interest them, that sound like fun. The Shinigami realm is boring and was made to visually convey that. Ryuk drops the notebook looking for fun. Light picks up the notebook looking for fun. And L takes interest in only certain cases, as if he's looking for fun. These cases are like puzzles to him, and only those he deems interesting are worth solving. Mass murder via supernatural powers, that has interesting written all over it. And in that, you can see the genius of Oba's writing, because that's also what we're here for. The idea of a Death Note with the power to kill. He had his story and its characters down to a T. Okay, so I know that was a lot, but that was the main idea I wanted to convey through this video, so how about we talk about some art? For this portion of the video, I'd like to give examples of Obata Sensei's talent regarding different emotions. As you can see in the thumbnail I made, I put a few of my favorite examples already, but let's take a look at some more. Whenever Light talks about his evil ambitions, Obata Sensei makes a great effort to show that a person who thinks these things is evil. In fact, I think one of his best talents is drawing somebody in a specific style to make the reader disgusted with them. A lot of panels that are like this lean into a more realistic art style, looking more curved in 3D rather than 2D. Always drawn with a sadistic grin, these characters are designed like the creepy uncle you wouldn't want to be left alone with at the family gathering. On another note, the minds of Whammy's house are depicted in a very special way, so let's take one last look at my favorite character, L. For this, I'll be using some reference panels from the one-shot short stories as they give insight on Nier's memories of all the children talking to L. L is an atypical mind. He spaces out for most things but gets hyperfixated on the things he loves, solving cases. I really relate to L, because that sounds like a bad case of ADHD. He may be an airhead one second, but the next he'd be able to tell you the 8 millionth digit of pi, and I find that, in a way, comforting. I take solace in a character who's able to put his all forward just for the sake of pursuing his passion, and that sort of sentiment resonated with me this year and inspired me to pursue my own passion, creating videos. So, Oba and Obata Sensei, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for such a valuable lesson, and thank you so much for an incredible series and for changing my perception of anime and manga forever. Hey guys, I don't normally pop in at the end of the video, but like I said earlier, definitely support this video if you want to see more like this. I can even continue making Death Note videos about different characters, maybe Nier and Mello, Ryuk and Rem, and or even Misa and Minoru. Just let me know and I'll get them going, because I have so much more I didn't talk about. This was such a passion project for me, and I hope you all felt that. So thanks again, and peace.